Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Dear Oakland. Today we have with us our special guest, Langstyn. He's one of the founders of, how do we say, Niggas in Nature? Negus in Nature? Negus in Nature. Nin. He's the founder of NIN. And we're going to allow him to give a little bit of an introduction, let us know what his organization's about, what other ventures he might have. And yeah, turn it over to you.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Langstyn here with Negus in Nature. Finding Negus in Nature was 2020. This is like during like a little testy time. I say it was like post-race riots, right before pre-COVID. And we needed a place to go out and just like get outside and be one with nature. And so a couple of homies, we got together. We had some plant medicine with us. And we went out to go enjoy trees because trees deserve to see tree-colored people outside. And so we went to go provide that coexistence with them. So we went out to the Yuba. It started off as a one day. We were like, let's just do this for this one time. And then once we got back, it was like, y'all should do it again. And we were just like, okay. Yeah. So it just kept going. We started steamrolling it. It started off as an event, which is called Psychedelic Sundays. And then it kept going. And then one day we were just out on the trail and we was like, yeah, we just like some real niggas in nature. And, it was like, and then from there, we was like, we can't go. We got to, all right, let's look up the etymology of this word. So we went back to the motherland. It's an Ethiopian Amharic word, which literally just means like sovereign ruler or king. So it was our way of just telling people like, find your nature, rather just your community, your favorite place, where it is that you feel like a king or a queen. And also king is gender neutral. Everybody can be a king.
So how would you describe your contribution to the community?
Oh, man. I just do my part. My part is to connect people. So creating spaces where people can come and connect. Whether if that's things that we're doing at Wolfe Pack Studios, or us doing events outside with NIN. But then also like doing like what I call core memories, like not just doing the thing that you do all the time, not just throwing the DJ party that you go to at the same club that you're going to forget because you probably drank alcohol, but instead go do something memorable, like go ice climbing or do a cultural exchange program in East Africa, or go out to Yosemite and do a multi-pitch for the first time, or go free diving or scuba diving. A lot of these things that we've done, a lot of times it's my first time as well. Yeah. So it's like, why just do this alone? Like share it with people who you really love, and that's kind of why and how we do it.
Yeah. How would you describe yourself? Would that be a community leader, an entrepreneur, a founder, or something else altogether?
I think all those things kind of work. I think I'm most proud of being like an active father. I think that's kind of like my biggest motivation to keep doing it, is because like I don't want my daughter to grow up and eventually be like, my dad wasn't there for me, or my dad was, and it's like I don't want that. So how do you actively do things to like show a better life for your child? And so that's when we started this whole thing. It was like build a community. I personally don't have any like blood relatives that live in Oakland. So like me coming to Oakland was me leaning on a lot of like chosen families. And I'm talking not just cousins and brothers and sisters, but like elders, like my uncles and my bae grandmas and different places like that, to be able to raise a child, because ultimately it takes a village. But I'm gonna just restart that. But I feel like a lot of times when you have a family and when you're like choosing to start a family, everybody knows the notion that it takes a family. I mean, it takes a village to raise a family, but a lot of people don't know who their village is. And you have this misconception of who your real village is. I feel like you find that when you go in nature, and or when you're like out doing things that is challenging, or when you need help, and when you need when you're down and out, because everybody's going to be there when you're up having fun to celebrate, but when you really need help and you need somebody to help with diapers and you need people to help babysit, and you start really realizing who's in your village. So that was a real big reason why I wanted to do all this.
Yeah. So I know earlier off record you said you've been pretty much all over the U.S., but what led you to Oakland, and how has it been trying to cultivate community here?
Yeah.
From a personal and business perspective?
Yeah, good question. The reason why I even like stepped foot into Oakland at all, my guy Bradley knew this guy, Sale. My name Marcel. He's a hairstylist, barber. He used to work at Station 33 right here on the lake. And we were living in Daly City, and I had just moved out here. I was 18, just turned 19 years old. going to City College of San Francisco, and I didn't know nobody to cut my hair. And the closest barbershop around us was a Super Clips. And I was like, I'm not about to go to Super Clips. I got to go. And so I asked my boy, I was like, where do you go? He was like, I got this guy in Oakland. He cuts my hair for free.
Oh.
And this is me at 18, 19, broke, don't got money to pay for a haircut. I was like, he cut hair for free. I was like, yo, next time you go, ask me if he'll cut my hair. Just tell him I'm your brother. Tell him I'm your cousin or something. And so that's how it started. And then he was like, yo, I got you. But like most people, I was ignorant about Oakland. I was like, nah, bro, Oakland dangerous though. My mom told me if I go out there, like, stay on this side of the Bay Bridge. Don't go to the city. So that was my thing. I would go Daly City to Embarcadero, and I'd come back down to Daly City. So this haircut was the thing that honestly took me across the bridge. I got off at 19th Street BART, and I'll never forget this to this day. Like, I walked, and I'm sitting there thinking it's going to be like, you know, ganglands and stuff like you see online, which is not true. But I'm seeing I saw a white dude walking a poodle, and I was like,
this is what I was afraid
what the hell
of.
is this? You know what I mean? Like this. And I walked down to the lake. I saw Lake Merritt for the first time, and I was like, "Yo, this is Oakland. Like, whoa, like this is different." And so from there, yeah, my first like people who I actually got to know were Marcel, Gathinji. I met Gathinji, random as hell, very long time ago from Keba, and I'll say Keba Conte, the founder of Red Bay Coffee. He was probably like, without him knowing him when I met him, he introduced me to like so many people. But with him being like an elder, like he was a little older than me, he was introducing me to like elders in the arts community. Yeah. So I got to meet like Daryl over at Oakland Inc. and Brother Kai and Joyce Gordon and Gathinji. And I'm just like this young cat. I wasn't even in the art game really like that. I was working at a cafe, one of Cable's cafes, and that's how I kind of got to know people. He introduced me to Andrea Ali over at Gorilla Cafe out in Berkeley. If you've never been to Gorilla Cafe, go pay him a visit. But she was very well connected. Ended up introducing me to Nigel and Adrian. And then once I started working at Kingston 11, I helped open up Kingston 11 years ago. And then that's when I started meeting everybody, because this is like the first Jamaican restaurant in this Oakland, area in Oakland. So of course everybody's flooding to this place. And then it's all intertwined. Like, most people who know me, I have the same connection story, and I can tell people by name. I know exactly how I got to where I'm at. It's no surprise. I didn't do anything that was like, I didn't go viral for doing the wrong thing, or it's really just being in the right place at the right time and doing and like consistently showing up. I don't come for money. I don't have like some like college degree in like philosophy and like all this other stuff. Like, I just go and I keep showing up to different places. So, yeah, cultivating community, it was really just figuring out what I wanted to do. First, it was restaurant. Yeah. All right, if I can memorize your order, you're going to pay me more. You're going to tip me more. If I'm kind to you, you're going to tip me more. So that was like the philosophy I started with. But then I was like, okay, cool. Y'all are doing like art and shit too. Like, so I think I was 21. I did my first stand-up at Awaken Cafe right here in downtown Oakland. They had an open mic. And that kind of like started something in me. I was like, oh, people are laughing. Oh, okay. People need laughter, but there's not a comedy club in downtown Oakland. There's no real big comedy scene in Oakland. It's more so in San Francisco, LA, New York. And so I was like, all right, what can I do to like add to this? And so that's when I started curating shows. Yeah. I would meet a lot of these business owners, and for any upcoming or inspiring event curator, I'm gonna give you a little tip. Every business, I'm talking every business, no matter what the business is, every business wants to get new faces into their doors. So if you ask them, what's their slowest night? What's the slowest night here that you get the least amount of customers? It's probably going to be a Tuesday, a Monday, or a Wednesday. Ask them if you can throw an event on that night. And that's how I started. I was like, yo, I think Pancho or Marco, Bissett Bay about in the city. Yeah. I asked him what the slowest night was. He gave it to me. I did an open mic. It was called Laughing Off Lang Bang. It's called LOL. And then I did an open mic there. He introduced me to Pancho. Mm-hmm. Pancho was opening up a bar in downtown Oakland. Ended up being the Hatch. Yep. And he was like, yo, I'm just starting. You throw a show whenever you want. I was like, oh, I can get a Friday? And he was like, yeah, do it. I don't care. So me and B just started live at the Hatch. And it just started from there. Like once you create a platform, people are going to come to it. So just about consistently doing it, regardless if it was 7 people the first show, 11 people maybe the second show. It's not going to be a big sold out show the first time, but started going from there. And then once people see people are coming to your events, other businesses are going to, then you can like negotiate. You're like, okay, cool. I need a percentage of the bar, or I can keep 100% of the door. Or so I started finding myself trying to find like the business side of it. So it's like, okay, if I go do comedy, I might get paid a beer, a drink ticket and beer. But if I host a comedy show and I charge $5 for everybody to come in, I might make $200. Or you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, let me get on the other side of the entertainment and not just be the performer, but how do you get on the other side? So that's kind of how I started utilizing my relationships in bars and restaurants to get free venue space that I can make money off of. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I guess my next question would be, what compelled you to focus on bringing Black folks to nature? I know you mentioned that you started going to the Yuba with the homies. And then what have been some of the most rewarding experiences that you've had since you started the initiative?
Yeah. The whole initiative started because of David Lee. I don't want to take much of any of this credit, to be honest with you. Our initial agreement was, he was like, I know where to go. This is a California kid who's been doing the backcountry, does all this skiing, biking, rock climbing, ice climbing. He does all this stuff. And he was like, his thing was, he was like, yo, a lot of times I'm doing it alone, because a lot of people from my community don't really like to go out there. And I was like, I'm with you. A lot of times I feel like that comes from not knowing someone who can guide you, who you trust. All right, I trust that this person is not going to do no weird shit, not going to get us lost, not going to put us in danger. So it started there. So Dave was like, if you can bring people, I can show you places. I was like, all right, cool, deal. I know people. You know what I mean? So that was our whole deal. And so we started going places there, and just to see the joy coming out of people's, like I said, I'm also doing this for the first time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were like looking at me as like the nature savant. I'm like, nah. I'm following David's lead. I can just convince all of us to pull up, and that was my little superpower.
Yeah.
So that's what it kind of started with. Second half of your question, could you say that for me again, though?
Yeah. My second half was, what have been some of the most rewarding experiences that you've had since you started the initiative?
Right. A couple of them. A couple of them that stand out. Honestly, anytime that I've been able to get back to the motherland from this type of work, I just got back from Kenya a couple weeks ago, and I mean that was pretty rewarding. Just just looking at the scale of the work. Just for reference, we Bay Area Mural Program, Give Power, Wolfe Pack Studios, Nagusa Nature, all put our brains together, and we're able to successfully fundraise and execute 5 days on the ground, 40 hours in the air, over 7 hours. It's over 7 days.
Yeah.
We were able to get a mural painted at the Makutano Primary School in Kitui, Kenya, which is like outskirts. Like I'm talking about so far outskirts. We had Kenyan artists joined us on the trip. So we had some American artists, some Nigerian artists, and some Kenyan artists, all on this trip. And the Kenyan artists were like, yo, we are out here. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Like if we come to Kenya and y'all say that we out here, we must really be out here. But just seeing that mural finished and seeing that done, just like seeing the hard work and what you can possibly do in 4 days, that, and then we installed a solar farm out there, which was able to give power to not just the school, but not just the village, but neighboring villages, and watching kids see the internet for the first time. And I'm talking about we're standing behind the kids, grabbing their fingers and yo, this is how to, use this, things that we take for granted in America, for sure. That's been hella rewarding. I definitely say the first time we went to, this is our second time in East Africa. The first time we went to the United African Alliance Community Culture Center. UAACC is the acronym. But Mama C and MZP, they're exiled Black Panthers that were in Kansas. And MZP can't come back to the States because he got caught up in COINTELPRO, was able to flee, got out, started, homesteading out in Arusha, Tanzania. So if anybody gets this opportunity, if you're watching this and you're where do I go? Hit up Mama C, hit up, the UAACC, and we went out there. And
how do you connect with them?
This was connected through my man Natty. Natty went out there years ago. He has a mural on the thing. But if you just hit up Mama Charlotte Hill O'Neill or Mama C. If you Google her, she's a very Googleable woman. She's a world-renowned artist. She's
Yeah.
like a deity.
For sure.
And people treat her like that. So when you're going out there and be like, yo, I'm with Mama C, people are like, oh, okay, all right, come this way. You know, you're like, oh shit, all right, I like this type of treatment.
Cool.
So yeah, definitely go check out with her. But yeah, doing that to ice climbing to like, we were just a part of the Yosemite facelift this past year. Was able to get like be part of an effort that got like 14,000 pounds of trash outside of the Yosemite Valley. Snorkeling. We're working on a documentary right now about our time last year going ice climbing. So that should be out this year, hopefully. And we should be able to show it on our next time going ice climbing in January. I'd say the experience. Like, it's never the money for me. We haven't really made a lot of money doing this, but we got a shit ton of experience doing this and getting to travel the world. Sponsored typically by other people, which makes it easier to do it because I know it's not everybody's experience. So we try to open that up to as many people as we typically can, bring folks with us.
So what do you think outsiders get wrong about Oakland, and how would you describe the city to someone who's never been here?
Yeah.
And then also, what would you change about Oakland?
Oakland is full of outsiders. It just depends on when you moved here, you know? A lot of times, and I would say Oakland is one place where no matter where you go, somebody will remind you that you are in Oakland. You know what I mean? Like, this is Oakland. You're like, okay, I don't know what that means, but I get you, you know? And people, they take a lot of pride in this place, and rightfully so. Like, as a person who, you know, I don't call myself an outsider personally, even though I wasn't, like, born or raised out here. Like, yeah, like, we have been traveling these lands for a very long time, and, like, this division aspect of it, like, this is all new. So this is seeing people from different places. We all are part of this homogenous experience together. But then there are people who come to Oakland and you expect respect or you expect love, and I feel like in Oakland you have to earn that, or you have to give it first. People have to see that you are loved before they decide to show you love. Oakland is one place that, like, for nature lovers, it's a hotbed because, I mean, not too many places in America you can go in the same day if you wanted to the beach, to the snow, to the woods, you know, to a river, all within a 1 mile, 1 hour radius. You know, not a lot of places you can do that. So, like, for like any sports junkie, I mean, we got like some of the best hiking trails in the world. We got some of the best climbing within a 3 hour radius, some of the best skiing and snowboarding, not far. And I mean, of course, like, cannabis culture is very beautiful out here, with the Bay being like such a hodgepodge of different cultures and different ethnicities for so long. Like, you get a little bit of everything. If you want to know more about who you are as a human, there's a community out here that will help you explore it. It's from bike riding to goddamn cannabis to religious to gender, whatever it is. There's people out here who will hold you and hold you accountable, which is what I like about the Bay. You can't just come out here, can't come to Oakland just fucking off for too long. You know, that shit gonna catch up to you eventually. So you might as well come lead with love and, like, just do what you do. As long as it ain't hurting nobody else, people gonna accept you, and people are gonna like be like, they're gonna get behind that shit, you know. So that's why I love Oakland. But if I could change anything about Oakland, shit, them goddamn taxes, nigga. You feel me? Like, so expensive. Give a brother a chance to buy a house. You feel me? Like, help us out with some rent. If I could do anything with all this, here's my thing, because it's doable. All right, and y'all can take this idea. This is an open source idea. We need to make this happen. All these robots that's about to come infiltrate. A lot of this coming out of the Bay. Let's be real. We got Silicon Valley. We got Tesla. We got in Fremont. We got all these things happening right here. If each one of these neighborhoods, and we're gonna focus on the low income neighborhoods first, put robots into these neighborhoods, and the money that they make from their work in that neighborhood goes directly back into that neighborhood. So we can start investing these robots, or we can start whatever data centers.
The robot labor?
Robot labor.
Okay.
Yeah, we use the robot labor that makes money.
So it'll subsidize the cost of the community.
Subsidize the cost for that community to exist. And we focus on the low income. The folks who can, if you can buy the robot, you don't need this. You don't need to come off of this. You feel me? This can go towards taxes. This can go towards the schools. This can go towards upgrades of playground. This can go towards building new preschools. This can go towards paying teachers better salaries. This can go towards funding artists so that artists can live here. And then we got to eliminate the starving artist quota. What about the thriving artists?
Yeah.
What about the supported artist community?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my idea to Elon Musk, Donald Trump, whoever the hell else voted for him, and they got all y'all people, Kim Kardashian, Amber Rose, all y'all. Okay, put your money where your mouth is and help out the people.
All right, perfect. How do you support or collaborate with initiatives that are similar to yours? I know you mentioned that you worked with BAMP and you worked with Wolfe Pack Studios.
Right.
I mean, I think you're a part of Wolfe Pack Studios, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
To go to Kenya to bring them some art, to bring them the internet, accessibility, connectivity, etc.
Yeah.
So how do you collaborate with initiatives that are similar to yours? And has community been inviting, or was it hard to break into these communities?
How do I do it? I think the easiest thing and the hardest thing to do is to show up. When I say show up, like show up to other people's shit first. Don't just expect people, oh, I got this idea, everybody gonna show up to it. That's not how it works. If you have an idea, hopefully get that idea ready like a month out. And then in that month leading up to it, go to everybody else's shit that's similar. And it could be similar based off of like, these are the type of people I want there, or this is the kind of event that it is, or this is the venue that it's at, whatever that is. And you just start telling people, oh, come back at this time, at this day. You start, dropping seeds. This is my tactic. Y'all can use it or lose it. It might not work for you, but I'm just saying this is what I like to do. Other things is collaborate over, collaboration over competition. Like there are enough people in the world who don't know you for you to think that somebody who got a similar idea is going to take if you don't get outside yourself, and like your community is only as big as you want it to be, and it fluctuates. Like sometimes your community might feel really large, and in other spaces your community might feel really small and restricted. Both of them are totally okay. I say getting into community depends on what community you are. Some communities are a lot more open and accepting to whomever the hell want to be in it. In certain communities, you gotta have to, gotta earn your stripes. You gotta come correct. And I feel like it depends on who you are as a person is the difficulty of it. I know people who are community starved, but then if you kind of hang around these people for a little bit of time, you're like, I see why it's hard for people. You know what I mean? I see why it's hard for people to kind of get to know you and shit. And so, yeah, we kind of, I think we all know these type of people, right? And so it's not and I personally don't like to, the whole like, oh, Langstyn's a community leader. I'm like, no, I'm not, nigga. Like, I'm Langstyn. If you decide to follow Langstyn, that was on your decision. But I say that to say, there's a lot of pressure on community cultivators, like the culture bearers is what I call them, of having the perfect community. And I want people to know it doesn't exist. You're not the perfect community member in whatever community you in. We all got things that we have to work on. So I say that to like lead with grace when people aren't perfect in community spaces. A lot of times we're so quick to be like divisive.
Yeah.
I've noticed that to be a very Bay Area thing, where we find a reason to make ourselves different. And it's like, okay, I get it. We all are different, but we have a lot more in common than I would imagine we have in difference with each other. It's just that we speak so much on this is what makes me unique versus this is what we probably got in common. We got that in common. Okay. So when going into new spaces or new communities, or if you're planning on visiting Oakland or you're planning on moving to Oakland, I say come finding what you have in common with people more than you are, oh, this person's different, or this person this, or this is a community that, because you don't know people until you talk to people. You might need Republican folk, you might need the racist, heterosexual male at your job, you might need the trans person who you might not, who you are, you might not, like people who you don't come from these communities, but we're going to need a little bit of everybody to make Oakland a better place.
Sure.
And so get to know everybody. And when you come to Oakland, you're gonna get an opportunity to know everybody, regardless of how you kind of come into that space. how it works.
Yeah. Has community been inviting, or was it hard to break into the spaces that you cultivated community in?
I say it's been difficult, if I'm being honest. It was difficult in the beginning. It's a little easier now. But only reason I think it's kind of easier now is because I've been personally curating shows for like 10, 12 years now. Like that'll get you somewhere. You feel me? It's not like I'm just starting from zero. But for the longest time, it was he's not from here. Yeah. I'm like, what's that got to do with anything? Like I'm throwing a comedy show. I'm not throwing a Legends of Oakland rap battle, and I'm trying to get in it. Yeah. That's not who I am, you know. So for a long time, what helped me though was collaborating with Oakland folks, like born, bred in Oakland, part of the culture. Cool. Hey, you trying to collab on this event? I got the space. You want to DJ? Cool. All right. So now it's validated because it's Langstyn and Brandon from West Oakland, or it's Langstyn and Dage did the thing. Yeah. Oh, now it's okay. Now it must be official because he got somebody from the town to do it. So that's kind of helped me out, but it's never been easy.
No, for sure.
Shit's expensive. Yeah. Shit's tiring. You can't just do one event and think that people gonna just support your whole mission and movement now. Like, no, you gotta reinvent yourself. Like, there's certain shows I've thrown. I don't throw those, but I can. Like, if I need to go throw No Ordinary Poetry event or various entities narrating truth, I can. It's just that I don't want that. That's just taxing. I'm not getting paid to do that no more.
Yeah. You know? So just with that, so what keeps you excited about what you do, and what challenges do you face as a founder?
Yeah, I'm facing a lot of challenges right now, to be honest with you. Being transparent, like I'm looking for that spark, you know? Like I feel like I was just having this conversation with some friends at Kinfolk. But like in 2020, like when we kind of like started NIN, like the initiative, I feel like a big reason why we started it and kind of like kept going to it is because I feel like there wasn't it was like a void where melanated people and nature, like that intersection wasn't being visited enough. Yeah. And since 2020, and this is me like congratulating everybody. There's a lot of groups of people popping up, and we're doing the climate groups and the running groups and the nature groups, and it's like I love it. Why? Because I don't feel so pressured to have to just continue to produce. And so coming back from Kenya, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I don't know if it's depression or if it's like survival, you know, the survivor's guilt, or if it's privilege guilt, or like whatever it is. But I came back really coming back kind of struggling of like, do I even want to do this shit? You feel me? Like, do I want to? How much do I want to? You know, it's not just if I want to. It's like how much can I really put into this? Because it's taxing. It's labor costs. It's mentally taxing. Like I'm saying, like it doesn't pay much. It's like you could be the founder of a cool organization, but it's like unless are you on payroll, Nick? Like, are you making money? Like, or are you doing this just to be like, oh, I'm the founder of Niggas in Nature? It's like that ain't enough for me. You feel me? Like that's cool and all, but I don't need any more like validation in my personal life. Like I'm cool when my daughter says like, Baba, I love you. I'd take that over 20,000 followers any day. You feel me? Like I'll take being able to go to my daughter's school when they're doing the potluck versus always having to do the thing that I'm not happy doing. So we're in a rest and reset stage right now with NIN. We're definitely looking for what is that next wave of like almost like the little homies. Honestly, I'm looking for like if I can get to a position in the next couple of years, I will find another president who can run it, and I will like I'm gonna sit back. I'll come to all the things. I'll help you find funding. I can do all this stuff, but if we can have somebody who wants to like run the show, I'm like cool, because running the show I've been running the show, and that shit gets tiring. It's depleting, and a lot of times I'm gonna just go ahead and say it since we're on camera. Like people abuse community. I'm gonna just say it. Yeah. There's a lot of community abuse, and I'm not talking about like physical or like emotional, but like. It's only beneficial for me to show up when I'm down and out, or post breakup, or post, or when I'm in town. But it's like when there needs some administration help, or when it needs the time to help plan something, everybody like, I don't really got time for that. You know what I mean? So it's like as we're loading up like this next year, really, because like we start off our year every year ice climbing. We'll be doing that again in January, but then like post that, we're gonna be looking for some inspiration. You know what I mean? Because like I'm getting older. My daughter's getting older.
Yeah.
Like my daughter wasn't even born when we did our first event. Like Deja was 8 months pregnant. So like she was with us, but she wasn't like with us.
Yeah.
But like now we're talking about kindergarten next year and different costs start coming up and life and moving and new studio and this and So the motivation is definitely coming from the people around me who are also like equally as motivated. And I'm kind of like there as I need to be there.
Yeah.
I don't want to be known for it much, to be honest with you. I just want you to I want people to like look back and be like, oh yeah, like I met at this event or we met at this thing that Langstyn has something to do with. And then if I can do that and have a little art in the world, maybe a mural, I'm cool.
Speaking of meeting at your events, I just hung out with Tristan.
Nice.
You know Tristan?
Yeah.
So we're actually from the same place. We're both from Louisville. And
right.
And I didn't meet her at your event, but the first time I actually got to connect with her on like a deeper level was at your whale watching event. We sat beside each other the majority of the time. We talked about like life goals, plans, intentions, and she let me know that one of her goals has just been met. She's really excited about it. She has an EP coming out.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's going to be on the podcast also, so she'll tell you more about that.
Yeah.
But just wanted to highlight that and shout that out.
Yeah,
You do
definitely
build really intentional and thoughtful community. My next question was, what's your role in Wolfe Pack Studios?
Right.
How can people collaborate with Wolfe Pack?
Yeah.
And how can people leverage the space?
Yeah. The space. Go to 1308theguild.com. There's a link at the bottom. You send an inquiry form for an event. If you want to do an event, we'll review it. If it seems like it fits our space and it's not like, I don't know, mud wrestling or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just not happening in our studio. But whatever that, if it fits there, Spencer will reach back out to you. That is above myself and Wolf's pay grade. This is what I tell everybody, just so that they don't ask us all the time. How did it get?
Yeah, Spencer will get back to you with your inquiry. So if you want to book the space, hit up Spencer.
Hit up Spencer, not us. But for us, my role there, I'm an event curator. So I help Wolfe with a lot of like the arts events, the art shows, just ideating, brainstorming, but then also like helping with the execution part. Been working with Wolfe. I met Wolfe in 2017. Been a minute. At an art competition that I was hosting actually, and she won the competition. And yeah, we've just been kicking it. We've been kicking it tough ever since. I think Wolfe Pack Studios came out of BAMP, which we were both at Bay Area Mural Program at the same time. She was the creative director. She still serves in that role in the creative director side. And I was doing event curation with them, planning their art gala that they did, the art clash. Like all those events. Like we'll just work with the people and we figure out what the idea is and we utilize all the different connections and shit to make it happen. And then she had the opportunity to get her own studio. She was like, Lang, let's do it. And I was like, let's do it. So we kind of broke off and did our own thing there. Of course, everybody knows her for her, her work and her activations in that way. I'm more so on the event side of just making sure that there's like you can go paint. We can bring people in here in different ways. We can get folks to see what's going on. So it's like my creative homie. And we do a lot of work together. She was with us out in Kenya as well. She's part of that project. And then she'll be coming out with us to Colorado. Yeah. She's a climber too. People don't know that about Wolfe. Wolfe is a hell of a rock climber as well. So we do a lot of climbing and just adventuring. It's my adventure pal. And she actually she painted a mural of me.
Where is it?
In Eugene, Oregon. Random as hell. If you're ever on Lane University in Eugene, Oregon, there is a beautiful mural. So shout out my homie Wolfe for immortalizing me one time in real life time.
That's dope. Thank you for sharing all those amazing things. So we'll get into our rapid fire round.
Okay, let's do it.
Where do you hang out? Favorite restaurant, favorite coffee shop, bar? What are some of like Oakland staples from your point of view?
Hanging out, I'm usually at Kinfolk, probably in downtown. Restaurant wise, I like Calabash right there. I like Marufuku. That's in Berkeley, but I like Chiang Mai. That's another ramen spot. What else is good? I like Mixed. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a little salad spot.
We like Mixed. Shout out to Mixed.
Don't.
It's actually headquartered here, so we'll accept
Really?
that. It is.
Cool. We'll take that. And then other food wise, Mentos. Grab yourself a quick patty and smoothie. I just had me a little Mentos smoothie before I came here. Coffee wise, I go to Red Bay Coffee. Usually get that charcoal latte. Be ready if you're gonna get the charcoal latte because it comes out like charcoal. So just prepare yourself. Other food wise, Cocoa Breeze is amazing. Town Fair.
What do you like from Cocoa Breeze?
The whole fish.
Okay.
Yeah, I get the whole fish.
Okay.
Seemed like you was coming in. What you got something?
It's all good. It's all love.
It's all love. Okay, it's love on this. Okay.
She's medium too, though.
But okay, so like I've tried the chana.
Okay.
I've tried the chana.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, cool. That worked. What else is good out here in the town? Man, I had some recently that kind of caught me off guard. What was that? Can't even think of it. I know our Chef Rashad's opening up a restaurant though.
Where?
Pretty cool.
In the Lady Inn, right?
Yeah, in the Linden. Yeah, that's gonna be.
Oh, the barbecue spot.
Yeah.
Down the street.
So that's gonna be cool. Looking forward to that. What else is there? Aburia. If you want to get some Japanese fried chicken, absolutely amazing. Rush Bowl, amazing acai bowls. Who else?
If Abarai sees this, we'd love. Well, you won't see it before, but we want to have you on the podcast.
I can get him over here. Adachi.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I can hit up Adachi. He's cool. He's scattered though. You got like 10 minutes with Adachi.
We'll take it.
Yeah. Hose is pretty good. I like the pizza from Hosa. Their wings are pretty good as well. Over at the Hatch where they used to be at.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pinto.
Pinto, Thai.
Oh, yeah.
Pinto and Minto.
Pinto M. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
Pinto's
we'll
good.
take it. A rhyme scheme.
Thai and
Yeah,
Jamaican.
that's good. What else is good? I know I'm gonna get shitted on for saying this, but I like Chipotle. Okay, I know that's not. I know that's not Oakland.
That's not a local.
But
That's not a local spot.
It's right by our studio, so that's why I eat there. Okay, let me talk food trucks real quick. Okay, so you got. Okay, of course you got Guadalajara if you want like a foot long burrito. The joint right here off of I don't even know the name of it. The red truck right here off of Webster.
Oh, 20th and Webster. I don't know what this place is called, but I know this truck. There's a flower cart right there.
Yep. That place is hella good. Sinaloa on East 20 on Deep East. If you want to see, they got tacos and they got things out there walking around too.
We're not shouting that out.
International Boulevard.
Boulevard got entertainment and tacos. What else is there? I think the best tacos in the Bay, though. Me personally, the best tacos. The best tacos.
You can start your way at a side door. You can make your way down to the tacos. Have an entertaining experience all the way.
I think Pisa is like East Oakland off of International on like 42nd.
What's Pisa?
It's a taco spot.
Okay.
It's fire. Pisa. I think I'm saying this right. Hopefully, it's the green building. Yeah. Absolutely good. They have the hottest hot sauces out here. That shit's delicious and it's hot as hell. But yeah, those are my top lists. If I didn't say any of the homie shit, I'm sorry. If you want to get catering though,
yeah,
Hills Catering.
Hit them up. Tell them.
Hills
We
Catering.
love Hillary. We love Hillary
amazing.
over here. Hi, Hillary.
Definitely hit up Chef Tirza if you ever get a chance to.
What up, Tirza?
Come out here and do the social club, Soulbox Social Club. They do
The curated dinners.
pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good. And Tirza can cook her ass off, so that makes it a lot easier when she actually can cook.
And then last question.
Last question.
How would you describe Oakland in just 3 feeble words?
Authentic. Diverse. Cultured.
Sounds about right.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Langstyn. We appreciate your time today.
Appreciate y'all.
We want to know how the audience can stay in contact, how they can follow along with what you're doing with your initiatives.
Yeah.
So if you want to let everybody know what channels,
Yeah.
what events you might have coming up.
I'm not sure when this will get out in the air, but just really go to nature-centric.com and just subscribe to our email list. You probably can get the best way to go there. Or you can just donate into the upper right-hand corner and just put like a couple commas in it. It's good to go. Nobody will notice. It's a non-profit. We're a 501c3 tax-deductible organization. So, for those people who want that.
It's $100,000. No big deal.
Just write it off.
Yeah.
Other than that, follow Wolfe Pack Studios online. You can follow King Langbang, but I don't really be posting that much on my personal. I just be posting in my story. Yeah, you can. Don't follow me. Actually, don't follow me. Just support in real life. You know what I mean? Support these young ladies. That's a good way to do it there. And keep supporting yourself. Like, chase your dreams. Remember, one day you will die. So you don't know when that day is. So stop acting like it and go live your life and go do the things that make you happy ultimately.
And go in nature.
And go hug a tree. You deserve to go hug a tree today. And go put your feet in the soil without no shoes on. And go see what that do to your day. And take some plants.
Okay, I love that.
And there we have it. Thank you so much.